All right, by request, about a year and a half ago maybe, I had a request for The House That Screamed and The House That Screamed 2. I didn't have either one of them. Picked up The House That Screamed, watched and reviewed that one. Finally, just recently got HELLGATE, The House That Screamed 2. I think Martin was the guy who requested this one quite a while back. I don't even know if you're out there anymore, Martin, but if you are, I'm watching this. Let's check it out. Okay, our woman starts with a busty brunette in bed, rolling around. Not sure what her problem is, but she's having some difficulties. Burn and choke. Our movie starts with Professor Pollenfax exploring a cemetery. He's interested in that house, the house that screamed. 2. But now he's in a cemetery. He comes across a grave. Can't see the name on that grave, but it's enough to make him faint. And we see a brief glimpse of Pollenfax in a car. Possible accident? I don't know. Anyway, he's on TV too.
And if you're just tuning in, we're speaking with Professor Pollenfax, the head of the Paranormal Center for Psychic Research. Tell us, Professor, how long have you been involved with the paranormal?
Almost 15 years. I've published 4 books, helped in the research of over 300 paranormal cases.
Anyway, the professor's taken a couple of his students
He senses something.
to the house. They're going to investigate
What is
it.
it, Professor?
Time to explore.
It looks as if we're not very welcome.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time spooks didn't want us around.
Come on, let me give you the tour. We're going to target specific areas within the house. Areas where violence occurred.
He tells them about Marty Beck, previous guy who stayed here, who wrote the book Terror House, which was a big bestseller now.
Now, in the kitchen is where the police found a huge pool of blood and Marty Beck's eyes.
He gouged them out himself. Later on, he's outside trying to draw or write something, and some strange power overtakes his hand. This is the Oscar clip right here. Here's that buxom babe again.
You can't help her. So you will work on yourself.
Thanks, did you hear that?
They detect movement in the walls.
What is it, Kevin?
I keep hearing something in the wall moving around.
Now, these appear to be Jawas. Or were they? Yep, Jawas. Silverware drawers moving by themselves.
You got in you? My grandmother could generate more scares.
Whoa. And that weird hand comes out of the wall, chokes and stabs him. Or tries to, but nope. He turns the tables on it. Momentarily, anyway. And then we see that creature, whatever the heck it is.
Let's get right back.
That creature comes out of the wall, chokes him, kills him. I think his name was Devin. Well, we figured out the problem here. The house is a gateway to hell.
One by one we'll take you. You should have left. Now you belong to the house.
No, you are not a prisoner. You can leave anytime you want. This house has no power over you or us.
This house has power. Every doorway leads you down a different path, but you end up the same place.
What the hell are you talking about?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
This house is a gateway to hell.
Shit anymore. I gotta get the hell
This
out
guy
of here.
has enough. Has had enough, and he tries to leave. And he gets zapped. This is actually Devin. Or was?
Death is the only escape.
I believe that's the guy who died a few minutes ago.
That's not true. There has to be a way out. Death, my friend. Dick. No. Honestly.
So at this point in the film, the professor's the only one left. And whatever puffy-armed creature that is grabbing him again. The busty babe is back again.
You can't run from death.
Who are you? Let me go.
Next thing you know, he's in the basement and he's walking towards a coffin, which of course is down there. He pries open the coffin, and what's inside? Hell! That's what hell looks like.
Right in hell. Every door gateway. Every room a mouth. Are you ready?
Ready for what?
To join the others in hell.
I'm not.
You died a long time ago. Enter.
So yeah, that demon there, or whatever that thing is, told him he died a long time ago. Remember that scene in the beginning? The car accident?
Enter.
I guess he died. I guess it was his own grave, probably, that he fainted at the cemetery, even though we never saw the gravestone itself. Now he's in hell. And now he's in hell in chains. I feel like I'm in hell right now, but I'm almost done. Now, I guess this is the end of good old Professor Pollenfax. And end of our movie. Alright, let's talk about this movie, Hellgate. The House That Screamed 2. This is a sequel to The House That Screamed. Not the House That Screamed from like 1970, which I also have, but the one that came out in 2000, written and directed by the Polonia brothers, who did this one as well. Did a lot of low-budget movies, these guys. This was recommended to me, I believe, by Martin, who wanted me to see The House That Screamed quite a while ago. I finally picked that one up, watched that one, reviewed it. Got this one very recently. I think I picked this up for about $10-15 or so. And I'm getting to this one. I was trying to remember the first one, which I watched maybe about a year and a half ago. Couldn't remember a whole heck of a lot about it, other than I remember it was kind of a turd. This one's more of the same. It looks like it's kind of shot on a camcorder. Not great acting, not great of anything, much of anything. The only thing this had going for it, which was kind of cool, was Leslie Colton, I think was her name. She's a porn star, actually, Leslie Colton. She was in this movie, and she just popped up periodically, usually in some stage of undress, naked, topless, in a shower, whatever. Beautiful woman. Very big boobs, too. Sometimes she was in the shower saying, save us, help me. Sometimes she was rubbing blood all over herself. The plot of this movie is we had this professor who's going into this haunted house where Marty Beck died, and then, but apparently before he died, he wrote some sort of book, which has now become a bestseller called Terror House. He's going in there with a couple of students to investigate. Students end up dying, and then the the professor ends up dying as well. There you go. End of story. A lot of weird images, things just popping in, just very cut frames, and just a lot of strangeness going on in this thing. Some weird effects, and it's hard to tell what's going on. Allegedly, this house has a gateway to hell in it. The gateway is inside of a coffin in the basement, and you can tell it's a gateway because there's a bunch of swirling wind and everything and weird colors inside of it. Just very a surreal kind of type thing. I don't know. It's not a good movie by any means. I guess it's the epitome of a schlock film. Very, very, very low budget. And, I don't know. It's okay. No, it's not. It's a piece of shit. So there you go. So anyway, they did not make a House of Scream 3, at least not as of yet. But if they do, I'll probably get it and watch it. So anyway, let me know if you've seen this thing. Leave some comments down below. It's called HELLGATE. Not to be confused with another movie called HELLGATE, which I also have. But this one is HELLGATE, House of Scream 2. Watch it. Let me know what you think about it. Leave some comments down below. We'll talk about it. Bye.